So what type of we know it's telepathic ability, but could you go in on that particular resonance and how it
you posted me going into that couple the last live I did on Instagram when the sister was telling us about her candle ritual and how she got a response, and I explained the mechanics to her.
yeah.
So we already covered that information in recent information, but
I'm about to it's short.
all telepathic connections is established through a heart-to-heart sympathetic link.
Mm.
The information is translated from prefrontal lobe, where you have something called mirror cells, under the pretenses of I am you and you are me, meaning that the sympathetic link open and we both have a mutual affection for each other. We can communicate using the mirror cells in the prefrontal lobe.
Uh-huh.
It becomes a projection of frequency like a radio broadcast, but it's
Uh-huh.
only directed to the one person that you directed it to. I don't know what you mean by erasement prescriptions, Elder.
Yeah, and because you be more fair use, it says how can we overcome erasement prescription?
I don't know
Yeah,
what you're talking. I never heard
yeah,
that term.
yeah. It's my first time. I don't know. I don't think she's talking about medicine prescription. Is she?
It sounds like to me she's talking about somebody got a hit on them and she trying to escape it.
Yeah, like yeah. It sounds like some alchemy down there. Like yeah, it sound like somebody witchcraft. You know, putting a spell on it.
I can't answer that question because it's not clear enough. The understanding of what she's talking about not clear enough.
Maybe she'll drop it again.
The Fed has already been closed,
Uh-huh.
which I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It's already been in the news papers, but it wasn't on the broadcast news. The U.S. Treasury is in charge of the finances now,
Mm-hmm.
and the headquarters is moved to an Indian reservation outside Reno, Nevada. Most of us don't know that. Why would they put it on the reservation? Let that sink in.
Hey, shout out Brother Love. That's one of my teachers, Brother Love, right there. Brother Love, man. That one of my ancestors.
Yeah,
And
but love that guy.
here you go right here. Explain. What do you say? Explain top techno-magic.
Techno-magic. That's using technology to do conjure work or magician work. It's just it's like using your tools, your implements, your magic wand, your crystal ball. That's still technology, but it's from a bygone era. Now
Mm-hmm.
you can use programs like you can use 3D animation to animate something called uh, I forgot the name of it, but they symbols in tantric yoga, and you can animate them to accelerate the usage of in your mind's eye. You get to see what it looked like when you project it 3 dimensionally versus what it looked like when it's a 1 dimensional form.
Mm-hmm.
Masculine women is the only way that a woman, single woman, can raise a strong male child because her masculine traits is going to shine and show him masculinity, but she's going to be sacrificing her femininity to do so, right? And that's going to decrease the power of her mother effect. If the woman stay feminine and she point out role models for the masculine child, he can learn from the role models by the direction of the mother, where she don't have to be so masculine to raise the masculine gender, which gives her more effect on the child in her feminine energy. right? So they are warrior women. When the warrior men start to decrease, the warrior women start to increase. This is the reason why they was on a campaign to convert everybody to alternative lifestyles to undermine the balance.
Facts, Rod. Well, Rod, you dope, Rod. You dope. Your analogies and your philosophies on things is dope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like the way you break it down and you keep it. You don't gotta go all the way out like you went to Harvard. You know what I'm saying? Go all the way out like he went at Harvard. I gotta go get me a whole. Some of the stuff you say, you know, you might have to go get a dictionary out, or you gotta been around for a while to know, like, to hear what you're saying, because you talking codes a lot, right? You gotta been around. I know something just to hear it, and then because I go back to stuff and I listen to it and I say, damn, Ron said that, and then I go look it up and put it together, and I start piecing more together. Man, I just about got it pieced all together now, man. You can't come to me with it and tell me we came on no slave shit. That ain't gonna. You ain't like. To me, Rod, they didn't put that together until 1865. Based on what? That's the only time I can see where they put it together. Right during the Civil War. I don't see no other time frame where they sold that to us. Because look, even in that movie Patriots. Them people, when King George and them people came to see, it was like 1773, 74, 75. When King James and them people came there, they said, King George the third. King George and them people said, hey, y'all, they were talking to the people that they said they were supposed to be slaves. They said, hey, y'all can come work for King George and be free. You don't gotta be slaves no more. They looked at that dude, told him, man, we ain't slaves. We just work here. And they was letting us know then. That some kind of game was being ran on that slave narrative. They were just working at a Walmart. Like this dude, it's like this dude owns some land. You go work for him and he pay you every day. They were getting paid every day just for going to work on that dude's land. They weren't no slaves. They go back. A lot
of them had a vested interest in the crop because that's how they fed their family. Right? Or if there was a cattle ranch, they had a vested interest in the cattle because that's how they fed their family. All right? Any kind of farming, you gotta remember, we didn't have grocery stores.
That's right.
We had what they call trading posts.
Farmer market, yeah.
The trading post was there. It was a junction between tribes to meet up with different things that they bring in order to get what they need and take back. We didn't care about money. Right? When we needed to do massive exchange, we exchanged gold and silver and coal, because we used to use a lot of coal, especially in the time that the colonists came. We be forgetting about coal was the big export before oil was discovered. Right? They were doing coal mines that led to the discovery of some of the oil wells. Right? So the coal mine, this is how Big Mama colors, Vice Lord colors get to be black and gold. Right? They're black and gold because they represent the gold and the coal, which represents the blood and the right. The gold and the blood gives you the earth right. Right? So now you got your black stone as a piece of coal with a golden heart.
Hey, drop your questions in the chat. Somebody just this damn thing like it froze or something. All right.
The trading post was the post office. This is where your King Lemuel Production said trading post with the post office too. The post office, the trading post was the post office. And this is where your Pony Express comes from. because it used to be an indigenous person riding horses across the land to deliver the message from one trading post to another.
So it was like this, Rod. Say like if I grew watermelon, right? So I
Mm.
would load me a wagon of watermelon. When I go to the trading post, say I would trade that watermelon in, some of it for corn, or some of it for sugar, some of it
Well,
for
everybody didn't always find the same things,
okay, all right,
right? So you might only do spices. So you might have a
right,
whole farm where your whole family do different spices like cilantro and stuff like that all over your land. But then you might need to eat with corn or something like that. So you would go to the trading post. You would take the amount of herbs you got and trade it for the corn or the meat because they used to dry the meat out.
yeah, smoke it, smoke me,
They used to dry the meat out and pack it in salt to preserve it. So you had different means at the trading posts. You used to trade the tribes who sold the moccasins would sow so many moccasins to put in the trading posts to get whatever they needed. Because some of those southwestern tribes was on barren land, they couldn't grow crops, but they can work leather. Because the desert climate is perfect for drying out leather.
That's right.
Right? So they could trade in that and use that as the foundational trading stock to get the vegetables they need that they can't grow in the desert. Our culture is rich with understanding trade. We didn't understand exploitation and greed. That's what we didn't understand. And that's what we had to go and experience on a mass level that we understand that we know we don't want that. Mm-mm. You take your greed and your exploitation back across the water. We don't want it over here. We've just been here long enough and it don't work for us. Because if it worked for us, all of the tribes would be at the bottom of the national barrel, so to speak, the melding pot. We wouldn't be at the bottom always. That's by design. That's not no accident. Right. They've been showing us in the history books with the flooding of the cities and the mudding of the cities and the molasses across the city, the fires across the city. They've been showing us we've been at war. We just didn't know that they declared war on us until they printed it. Right. And now we can show it to you that the people of the land is at war with the government. What? I didn't write it. I'm just showing you where it was at. So Jermaine Oliver said, I've been quantum leaping more than usual and without effort. What's going on? I feel like I've been changing the script of reality because that's exactly what's going on. And what you feel is what you know. That's the simplest, most direct answer I can give you. You experience and you know exactly what you experience, and you don't need nobody else to tell you. You experiencing what you experience. You just gotta interpret it as to how you're going to perceive it to affect you.
Yeah, the quantum leap. The quantum leap is that now he figured out a lot of stuff. He connected a lot of dots now.
And the quantum leaping is the closing down of timelines that doesn't keep him in alignment with the upcoming age that's being told to him genetically through Schumann resonance and solar flares. Fire. That's why, remember, I told him watch the solar flares, watch the Schumann resonance, and then watch how you feel. Download the biorhythm app so that you can monitor when you go through certain stuff. You can see it coming before it get here based on what you experience when your biorhythm is in a certain frequency. Paperwork ain't got nothing to do with your status. It only got something to do with your political position inside the corporation. If we didn't, we wouldn't be here.
says it's process of Earth ejected or pulling from the
Is the
atmosphere.
process of Earth being ejected or pulled from the atmosphere, be it the gravitational pull, could what we will experience be the literally process of the seven thunders. The seven thunders is a reference to biblical revelation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And remember, when you go back in the book tell you what the answer to what a thunder is, right? It's the loud voice. The seven thunders is the seven kings of Israel in the Old Testament, right? It's also they also given to you with the Moby Dick story because the last king was Ahab, who got cut off at the knee by a little white lie that became a whale of a lie about a boat and a white whale, which is the white man's burden. So all of those are coded signs to read the times, right? Now remember, if it's seven speakers, where do they come from? You have to look to Revelations to find where the seven is relevant to where you would be getting seven voices from, right? So in Revelations, you got something called seven heads and 10 horns. The seven heads represent the leader of seven nations, and the 10 horns represent the secondary nations that support the seven. Right? But it's really coded as the number 17. 10 and 7 is 17 is a Q flip on a Q code off a Q card, right? To cue the director to make the cut, right? Which brings the movie to an end. So you was all playing in the movie. The world is a stage and we all just actors, says Shakespeare. We all playing a part in something called the holy drama. The holy drama is the tale of the resurrection of the Osiris, the Osirian resurrection. That was resurrected by the mama in the son to allow him to ascend the throne and replace the father in the hereditary passing of the right. So once we understand that the movie has an ending to it, we can let the credits roll now. When the credits roll, it's going to tell you who was playing the bad guy, who was playing George Bush, who was playing his son, who was playing Barack Obama, who was playing Hillary Clinton. All these secrets are codes, right? They got CIA code names for a reason, right? So you got Bill Clinton as the snowman. Think Falcon and the Snowman, espionage, but also think narcotics trade, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Right? How we got the name the Snowman. The CIA code name Snowman was married to Evergreen. It's your Christmas story. Mother Claus, Father Claus. Evergreen is the CIA code name for Hillary Clinton. Right? Which she was using Evergreen freights to traffic in children. She's playing the bad witch. Right? As you go through it, you see it all play out in front of you as a big fairy tale, and then you wonder why Shakespeare said the world is a stage and we are just actors. So somebody got to come at the grand finale and tell everybody what they experienced so that they can break out of character. Because once you do method acting, you get stuck in character and it's hard to find yourself again. So we need therapy.
That's
But we
right.
don't need individual therapy. Ain't nothing wrong with us except for the fact that we don't remember that we ain't these names we walking around proclaiming to be. We something higher than that, pretending to be these names.
Right.
Right? And then you start to open up the third eye. And the third eye make me shine like jewelry. You just
Exactly.
a renter rapper. Your rhymes are mini made. I'll be here when you fade and watch you flip like a renegade. I can't wait to break on the lemonade. On every trail's a snake, so stay awake. And follow because the temple's a trail. Stage is a cage, the mic is a third rail. Shout out to Rakim, the God MC.
Right. Somebody said, can you clarify what happens to the original people that were here before the Anunnakis arrived and made man in their image?
We amalgamated. That's what happened. We amalgamated. The original people still here. They just mixed in all the other races so we could form one big human family at the close of the age.
Mm-hmm. The Project Blue Rock.
Yeah. Everybody had to tie into the vein. The first family, the first blood, blood. Plug back into that which you came. Just because they derive from us don't mean we can't reabsorb them back into us.
No.
Remember, when Yakub grafted the devil, he gave us a remedy.
Right. He did. They talk about the forms. I know Bill Gates buying up a whole bunch of shit, but he can't. How they buying up our land? They can't buy our land.
Listen, a lot of those farmers, just because they look like us, don't mean they us. When they tracing their ancestry and find that they came from overseas, they gonna use everything at their disposal to try to displace them from the farm because they got to give it all back to the tribes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if they don't got no tribal mother with blood to the land, they out of there. Because only the tribal mothers own the land, and the tribes, the land own the tribes. We caretakers of the land. The land don't need us. We need the land.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Says, do you need to submit paperwork to change our status? No. Not no more. Paperwork they don't honor paperwork any goddamn way. You know what I'm saying? They don't honor no paperwork. You go in there with it, they gonna
You know, I answered that about 40 minutes ago.
We got a whole tape on it though called about paperwork. A whole tape called The Paperwork Conjure.
It's a paper chain. It's paper trap.
Yeah.
It's to lock you back into the paper genocide in order to disassociate you from the land.
To claim your birthrights, you need oral tradition. That's all you need. Then know your pedigree and oral tradition. We don't gotta do no paperwork with them no more, because they frauded us out of all that information. They frauded us out on it. It's
now we might use their records to form family tree charts, right? Because they records also tell them who they changed us into and who we were before they changed us. But that's kept in the, under lock and key by order of what's called the 72 secret treaties. The secret treaties is all of those secrets, Masonic secrets, that's used to keep us from knowing who we are. From the miseducation aspect, all of the stuff that they was agreed to as parameters to fight the amnesia war, to educate ourselves above the condition for 200 years, to break free of the corporate contract of the interim government.
Somebody says, what's the spiritual explanation for exploring head syndrome?
I don't actually know what that is.
Yeah.
But in the spiritual sense, it's a book called Breaking Open the Head, where the guy is going to all of the shamans, learning about the mushroom and the evil gang and the um, peyote and different hallucinogens used by shamans to open up the mind. And a lot of people say once your mind been opened that your head exploded, but they don't mean it literally. They mean it figuratively, meaning that your mind has been open to the truth of the world. But I don't know if that's what he talking about or she, Cool Psyche. I don't know if that's what they talking about.
Gangstalkers. Just Nigerians or they part of the gang.
Gang stalking is more tied to your birthright than you could possibly imagine. They normally try to use gang stalking as a fear tactic to keep you distracted from ever going inward to discover the self because you're paranoid about the gang stalking activities that they're going around you. So they got you so predisposed focusing on them that you can't do the self work required to wake you up as to who you are. Right? The Manchurian candidates is not just part of gang stalking; they are also part of assassination ops across the land. They're the ones who look like us but aren't. Specifically, the ones who grew up in our community know what they are doing. I don't know if they actually know what they are doing, but I know they don't care about us to the degree that they become reckless when they had an opportunity to hold our life in their hand. They more likely to send us on crash out missions than one of us would send the other. Right? And that's normally what happened. They get into a position of power in the community and they like to send the young boys out on crash out missions to keep the tribes divided and to keep us from ever forming unity with each other to reclaim the land. So they there as a plant. When you hear them talking about Hollywood industry plant, they never talk about the neighborhood industry plant that they put in the neighborhood and they financially support them by whatever means they can to get control of the minds of the youth with money, with flashy cars, with a whole bunch of fine females, you know, the poisonous ones at that. So they give them this as part of their cover story to make them look like they're a go-getter. Because we all know that any one of the chiefs, you can drop them anywhere on the land and they know how to make a living, even if there's no real way to make a living, they can get it from the dirt. So when you see somebody performing them activities, your subconscious mind telling you, here is the chief. Let me go see if he can teach me what I need to know to become a chief. And they use that flash as a way to get your attention. But the real chief don't use flash. He use character. Man, this is a long drawn out process and it comes in phases. First thing is shut down all education from the governmental sources. All
Right.
local communities reclaim the educational programs of your children. That's the one of the first things we got to do. Next, the teenage boys need to learn manhood standards because they don't know how to be a man if men don't teach them. And the quality of men that teach the boys how to be men determine the quality of men that the boys gonna be when they grow. So we need manhood training for teenagers. Then we have the ones in their 20s, college age, need to be in leadership. Leadership training teaches them how to take orders and give orders, and the reason you need to know both sides of the dynamic. If you can't competently execute an order, you can't competently give another order to somebody else, expecting them to understand your order and to execute. So the better you are at being able to follow the instructions, the clearer you make the instructions when you teach somebody else or when you giving orders to somebody else. This is why we need to reach out to the OGs across the land that has the attention of the YGs. because they gonna be the ones that begin to educate them on how we was deceived to fight each other. Once they understand what was being used to turn us against each other, we can then use that as a survival mechanism to not let it happen again. The first thing we need to be worried about is what is we doing to support and protect our family. And then whatever your natural attention is drawn to is what you need to focus on. You're going to automatically know what to do when you trust in yourself without needing nobody to tell you. Just remember, we have a lot of wisdom teachings so that we know the one that's most competent at the time for the task required is the leader at that time. But the leadership will change according to the needs of the community. And we got to be all right with that.
Yeah, bro, you heard about that guy, that 3-year-old baby that blew that guy head off, man. Yeah, said the guy was sleeping on the couch, I guess, and it was a youngster, white end guy, and I guess he had one of them 40s with the long clip on it. And the baby got up, go use the bathroom. I guess the guy rolled over, let his gun fall on the floor. The baby went in there and looked at it, picked it up, put it to the back of his head while he was asleep, twisted his cap back. So you think that baby was wrong? He was wrong. What you think about that, bro? That 3-year-old twisted.
First and foremost, your firearm should not be accessible to children.
Right.
That's irresponsible gun ownership. Mm-hmm. I advocate people being armed. I'm with that. Mm-hmm. But I don't advocate you being careless with your firearm.
Yeah.
Right. This is why I don't advocate innocent bystanders getting shot. Right. If you know who the target is, get the target. Yeah. If you can't get the target, don't be shooting.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But in that situation, the baby shouldn't have access to the firearm. Now the irony to that is the baby could have been possessed by an ancestor. And was making a reckoning on something.
That's exactly what I said to my girl, Roy. That's exactly what I said. That baby was handling some business. That's what I said. That baby was handling some business. That dude had to go. He been bullying somebody. He did something. Well, that's a karma. That's the karmic debt for that.
See, you can teach children. You can teach children at an early age to be responsible with a firearm, but you first have to be responsible. Mm-hmm. You get that firearm get just as much respect as you get a police, because that firearm can save your life or take your life, no matter which end of the barrel you on. It can save your life or take your life. Right? So anything that have that much power need to be given the same amount of respect. That go back to how we deal with going to foreign neighborhoods and being able to go into the worst part of the community and the people not give us problems because you know how to respect the territory. Mm-hmm. You don't really stick out. Too respectful. Mm-hmm. It's the same with the firearm. You ain't got no respect for that firearm, it's gonna clap you one way or another. Mm-hmm. Whether it clap you into the grave or clap you into the penitentiary, it's gonna clap you.
Texas got hit pretty good with a flood not too recent. Somebody was just asking what that was tied in with the 1987. I think that's what they said. They rolling the comment, then they freezing it. I can't see. 97. I just seen it and it's rolled on. Okay, it says we got about 7 minutes. It says, are you? This try to be the last one. Are you talking about the incident that happened in Atlanta?